Happy holidays. You're listening to You're listening to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm an insulated latchkey kid, Drusilla Adeline. Again, a quarter of these are actually true. Merry Christmas, Josh.
Merry Christmas to you and Happy Hanukkah. I know that Hanukkah and Christmas actually overlap this year, which is
Hanukkah
a rare
and
treat.
Kwanzaa are both falling on Boxing Day this year, which is
That's
wild.
Great.
It's great, yeah.
Inclusive.
Yeah. The calendar makers got together this year and said, all right.
Let's work this out. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I am super into the festive spirit this year. It makes me really, really happy. I'm currently wearing a bright red Western wear shirt with bows, stitched embroidered bows all over the top of it. It's very, very Christmassy.
It's a little bit Loretta Lynn, a little bit Mrs. Santa Claus.
A little bit Joan Crawford and Johnny Guitar.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
We've been kind of lounging around the house. We've been working a lot still, up until the point of Christmas, which is anxiety-inducing. But we've been making it in a lot of time to see friends and do a lot of gift exchanges. And we've been baking a lot of cookies and stuff. So I'm cooking chili tonight. So we're absolutely going to be I'm going to be gaining another 5 pounds for Christmas. So it's going to be back to the gym in January.
Yeah, me too.
How are you doing?
I have to tell you the most fucked up story.
Oh, please.
So my dog Edie had to have some teeth removed this week. She's a woman of a certain age, and little dogs have really terrible teeth. So she had to have some extractions, and the dog dentist said, just so you know, she's on heavy duty painkillers. She had all these teeth extracted. She might drool, and some of that drool might be bloody. And I thought, okay, no problem. But then, this is the afternoon, and then I don't notice anything all day and all night. And then I wake up the next morning, and Edie sleeps with us. And Joel gets up 2 hours before me for work, and he's like, hey, I think I noticed a stain from Edie, just FYI. And I was like, okay, I'll take care of it. So he gets up and leaves. I wake up 2 hours later. I wake up to this sound. Here's some ASMR for you. I lift the comforter, and it's like a murder has occurred. The white sheets are covered in blood. My bare leg is covered in blood. And the sound is Edie drinking her own blood from a small pool of blood.
Vampire dog. Vampire dog.
Her little muzzle is covered in blood. I screamed. And it's so funny in retrospect that Joel was like, hey, I think I noticed a stain. Very typical of him.
That is classic horror movie moment. That's the end of Sid Nancy when it's a little blood, and then they turn the lights on and it's
It's like the first kill in Nightmare on Elm Street where Tina is wrapped in the sheet and getting thrown all around the room. That's what it felt like. Edie is very much fine, but it was something else.
Oh my God. That's also reminding me a lot of that Wurdalac French vampire movie that came out earlier this year.
I haven't seen that yet.
Because the thing to let you know that a person has become a Wurdalac is that they slobberly munch on their death shroud. So if you see your sister over in the corner of the room and you're like, hey sis, you didn't get Wurdalac, did you? And you just hear you're like, oh no.
I did cross an iconic Christmas list or Christmas movie off my list. I have a group of friends who tease me about being a film snob, believe it or not. I don't think that that's true, but that's okay. And they found out about 6 months ago that I had never seen the movie Die Hard. Iconic Christmas movie Die Hard.
Famed action movie buff Joshua Conkel.
By the way, did you know that Die Hard is actually a Christmas movie?
What?
So anyway, they made sure that I sat down and watched Die Hard, and I really liked it. I thought it was super fun, great characters. I had avoided it my whole life because I do not like action movies. But it's a good one. I think it's a really good one. Controversially, it is not a Christmas movie. Let me tell you, no, it's not a Christmas movie. No, it is set on Christmas, and that's it. But that's okay.
I can make an argument for like Shane Black movies, which are also action movies, almost all of them set on Christmas, being more Christmas movies than that. Like Long Kiss Goodnight and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang are significantly more Christmas movies.
Way more.
Than Die Hard. I will say, now that you've seen Die Hard, you can start the franchise proper. And by that, I mean skip Die Hard 2.
Okay.
And Die Hard's 4 through whatever, and then just watch Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay.
Which teams Bruce Willis and New York City cab driver Samuel L. Jackson on a scavenger hunt through the city by a mad bomber played by Jeremy Irons.
That sounds good.
It's actually really good. It's really fun.
I'm so clueless about action movies that I was like, I thought that Danny Glover was in this movie. And they were like, that's Lethal Weapon.
No. It's the guy from Family Ties.
He's really good in it, by the way.
He's really good at it, yeah.
I just don't like action movies. They're really boring to me. Like, I can watch a 3-hour movie that is absolutely silent about a woman doing chores in her house and be riveted. But if there's like car explosions and police, I'm out. I'm like bored to tears in general.
Oh my God. I mean, I understand you, but I also fully am aware that I have like middle-aged dad movie tastes sometimes. And so like I will be watching The Great Escape this Christmas.
The only time I like action movies is if they're also a genre movie. Like I like if they're like a Lord of the Rings or Aliens Conan. Or stuff like that. I like if it's fantasy or sci-fi and an action movie, then I'm in. Jurassic Park, like I'm into that. But if it's just cops and explosions, no thanks.
Well, we differ there, but maybe I can pitch you on an action movie. Maybe you can try a fantasy themed action movie and enjoy Cutthroat Island.
You've told me that before. Yeah.
I think you would like 90s action box office bomb and genuinely good pirate movie starring twink of the 90s Matthew Modine, Cutthroat Island.
That's the movie that sent Rennie Harlan to director jail, right?
Yeah. And it was also Gina Davis too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's very good. I've been watching some Christmas related movies myself, but I also movies that in the modern era are very like, hipsters will be like, well, that's a Christmas movie. I don't feel like watching Frosty the Snowman or a Hallmark movie, so blank is a Christmas movie. We went to the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood to go see a double feature of films by a beloved filmmaker that we talked about in this show, who was there in attendance and gave a little intro to both movies. None other than Todd Haynes and his Christmas masterpiece, Carol.
That is a Christmas movie. I love that movie.
Extremely Christmas movie. He also made the Egyptian Theater program music selections before each movie as people were filing in. So before it was Safe and Carol were the two movies. There's two Carols.
Ooh, great double feature.
And before Safe, he programmed nothing but Sonic Youth.
Okay.
And then before Carol, he programmed nothing but Nico.
I love it.
It's very also. So he came out between the movies to speak about the production of Safe and the political ramifications of Safe and how Safe has like evolved over the years. But before all of that, he pointed out that his father was in the audience. His father came to the screening.
Aww.
Which is outrageously adorable. And then there was an intermission between the movies, and he just like walked out into the audience to go sit and hang out with his dad.
I love that.
Deeply, deeply, deeply adorable. I love that man so much. And god damn it, Carol might be the best Christmas movie ever. It's all about forbidden love, and it's all about Christmas road trips and how shitty family can be, and the things that you will do to see your kids, and about Christmas shopping, and about the sound that die-cast steel trains make around the tree, and how that's very soothing and relaxing. And about drinking hot toddies and martinis, and it's incredible. I deeply, deeply love that movie.
Some of my favorite cinematography of all time, too. Shot on super 16 millimeter film. Absolutely beautiful costumes, and just like the whole aesthetic of it is so fabulous. Filmed in Cleveland, but set in New York, which is weird. That and In the Mood for Love are like my two favorite cinematography movies. Yeah. They kind of go together in a way.
They very much do. Every time I watch Carol, I'm blown away. But this was Todd Haynes' personal 35 millimeter print of it too.
Wow.
And it was just stunning. It's never looked better. I didn't get to see it in theaters when it came out. It wasn't on my radar somehow 10 years ago or whatever when it was coming out. But I went to go see John Waters speak at a college campus back in Indiana. That I took like a mega bus across multiple states to get to. And at the end of it, someone asked him what his favorite movie of the year was. And he was like, oh, it's gotta be Carol, because it's like a subversive, sexy lesbian movie that you can take your parents to.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I mean, it's also like owes so much to David Lean's Brief Encounter, which is even more impressive because John Waters famously despises David Lean in every David Lean movie.
Oh, does he?
To the point that fucking Todd Haynes was able to like take so much out of David Lean's best movie and then like put it right back into John Waters' face with lesbians and make him like it.
Well, great. I feel like Todd Haynes is always in conversation with like Douglas Sirk movies too, which I know John Waters loves. So, you know, you take the good, you take the bad.
Almost every single Todd Haynes movie, every single one is a period piece, first of all. But every single Todd Haynes movie, while they do stand on their own, are all in conversation with another either filmmaker's body of work or another genre of film, in the way that Safe is in conversation with the like illness of the week TV movies about AIDS in the 80s. And then, of course, Far From Heaven is in conversation with Fassbender and Sirk. And Velvet Goldmine is in conversation with Citizen Kane. It's fucking incredible. He's the best, and it was such a wonderful, wonderful way to ring in the holiday season.
Yeah.
Speaking of the holiday season, we have gifted each other presents this year. I've yet to give Josh his because I forgot to bring it. I brought it to the movie, but it was too big, and I was worried about taking it into a theater. But we, as a podcast, have a gift to listeners in a very, very, very special form. Josh, if you would like to inform them of this.
We are very excited to announce that we have done our very first audio commentary for an upcoming Blu-ray release. It is Arrow Video's release of Brian De Palma's misunderstood classic Dress to Kill.
Yeah, I'm so over the moon about this. When we were hit up for this, I was fucking flabbergasted. And we did it a while ago, and it still doesn't seem real. And seeing our names on the back of the little jacket is so thrilling.
It's so cool.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a movie that I've wanted to do on this show since we first started it, and now I guess
we won't.
Go
buy that Blu-ray.
I guess we won't, because you listen to us talk for about an hour about other movies and then half an hour of like the actual topic. Now you get us for 2 hours having done research.
Yeah, watching the movie live. You can watch Dress to Kill with us live, basically.
it's really, really exciting. And the release also features some friends of ours and other like luminaries in the industry. There's an audio visual essay by BJ and Harmony Colangelo of the This Ends at Prom podcast. There's also essays by Alexandra Heller Nicholas and Heather Wixon. And there's an audio commentary by Maitland McDonough, who literally wrote the book on Dario Argento and on Giallo films. It is beyond stacked. It is being released in the UK, but it's a 4K release, so it's region free, so you can import it without any hassle. So thank you to Alexandra and the people at Arrow for making this holiday season that much more special. And if you like this show, hopefully you can pick up that new copy of Dressed to Kill and keep listening to our voices over the prettiest visuals you could possibly want to put them to.
Yes, and that is out March of 2025.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on to the movie of the day. This is a Christmas movie of sorts.
It's a Christmas movie.
I guess so, in the way that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Picked by Drusilla, a movie I'm watching for the first time, but Drusilla deeply loves. From 1944, directed by Gunther von Fritsch and Robert Wise, produced by the legendary Val Lewton. It is The Curse of the Cat People.
Why I came to you, Amy. Because you called to me. And I came. So that your childhood could be bright and full of friendliness. But you must promise never to tell anyone about me.
Not even Daddy or Mommy?
No. This must be a friendship that only we shall have.
Why, Daddy, you know my friend, too.
Wah, wah, wah. Is this the first time we've covered a sequel to a movie we've already covered?
Probably.
It's gotta be. It's not like we've done Halloween 2. Like,
no. Yeah, we're not doing a lot of franchise films here for some reason.
But this is very much a weird movie to be a horror movie, let alone to be a sequel to one of the biggest horror movies of its era. It's a real weird movie. And I watch it almost every Christmas. I think it's far more of a Christmas movie than it is a horror movie.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. But I find it really, really, really tender and really, really sweet. And it means a lot to me. This was your first time seeing it, though.
Yeah. I thought it was really lovely, very sweet. I love that little girl. Love Amy. I very deeply connect to her. I was a very similar child. It's sort of like the movie's kind of a love letter to introverts, which I am. Like, this is a kid that's just vibing, enjoying her own company, living in her own head and loving it, and people just will not leave her alone about it. I love her deeply, and I usually don't like kids in movies unless they're rotten.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's like the bad seed.
Exactly.
I'm usually like, fuck this little kid. And this movie is entirely about a young girl, about a 6-year-old girl, who is, the way that this is connected to cat people, she is the daughter of Oliver Reed. Not that Oliver Reed.
Right.
Oliver Reed, the character from Cat People, whose wife, Simone Simon, died at the end of Cat People, and now he married his mistress he was cheating on her with. And they had a daughter together and now live in the suburbs of Sleepy Hollow.
Yep. Filmed in Malibu. And at Gower Studios in Hollywood.
Yeah, and on the RKO backlot. Very much the RKO backlot. This is also, it's like I want to say it's the fourth movie in the like Val Lewton RKO run. The only sequel they ever made. It was still a big hit, despite the fact that this is maybe the weirdest Val Lewton movie, at least of his horror cycle. and it's the directorial debut of Robert Wise, Indiana's own Robert Wise, who would go on to direct The Haunting and West Side Story and Sound of Music and Star Trek and The Day the Earth Stood Still and The Body Snatcher and The Setup and The Andromeda Strain and Blood of the Moon and Sam Pebbles and Born to Kill and Audrey Rose and like every fucking movie. Like Robert Wise directed every movie.
Yeah, and this is also the directorial debut of the other director, Gunther von Fritsch, who was fired midway through and replaced by Robert Wise.
Yes. Gunther von Fritsch had directed short documentaries and been a reporter and was like trying to make his big Hollywood move to be a big feature director. And it didn't work out. The one thing that everyone notes about the Val Lewton RKO horror movies is that they were all made for like pennies and made within weeks. And Gunther von Fritsch was going over budget and over time. And he was he was ceremoniously let go. The way they covered it in the press was saying that he had been drafted into the war. This was made in 1944. And that he had to go serve. And so he would not be able to finish his directorial duties. And Val Lewton, being like surprisingly the nicest producer of old Hollywood in the 40s, still gave him an on-screen credit.
That's very nice.
And first. Like, you never see that. I mean, famously, like, 7 people directed Wizard of Oz, 7 people directed fucking Gone with the Wind. Victor Fleming is the one name on both of those movies. That's it. And that's kind of, like, old Hollywood code, is that, like, whoever's the last man standing on set is the one that actually gets the credit. And so any other situation, this just would have said Robert Wise. But Gunther von Fritsch is responsible for some of the most striking visuals in this movie.
Yeah. This movie does have 4 actors returning from Cat People in their original roles, but it does feel like the movie is not at all interested in being a real sequel to Cat People. It seems like marketing, like, you know, executives kind of insisting upon it because of the popularity of Cat People. I know Robert Wise or Val Lewton, I think, actually wanted to call this Amy and Her Friend.
Amy and Her Friend.
Terrible title.
But to make up for that, he has her say Amy and her friend like 3 times to camera.
My friend.
Amy and her friend. I like the sound of that. Amy and her friend. Which is like him yelling at the fucking RKO studio chiefs.
Yeah.
I will say we do have 4 actors returning. But one of them may or may not be playing the same character.
Oh, excuse me.
Elizabeth Russell, who returns from Cat People. In Cat People, she had one scene as the lady at the kind of Eastern European restaurant where they have their honeymoon at.
That's the like, best scene.
And she's such an incredible actress. Oh my god.
So good.
Who like comes up to her at the table and says Moya Sestra, like really cuntily, and then walks away. And she's also in Seventh Victim, which we've also covered. Yeah. She's the like former beauty queen neighbor of the suicidal main character who has a terminal illness and refuses to go outside. In this, she plays the old lady in the spooky old house's daughter, caregiver.
Question mark.
It's kind of left ambiguous and mysterious to add some tension into that relationship. I will say, as we go into this episode, I have completed my like 15-hour, maybe 20-some hour deep in-dive Val Lewton podcast by Adam Roche, The Secret History of Hollywood, in his Shadows series, specifically on Val Lewton. So I am like full to the fucking brim, ready to talk about this movie and have a lot of little production stories to talk about. And a lot of stuff that was cut out of this movie that I can kind of enlighten a little bit.
Great. Yeah. So I guess I'll start with the little synopsis, which you've pretty much given, but just to be officious about it, we have Ollie from Cat People, who has married his mistress after the death of his first wife, Serbian immigrant Irena. He's moved them from New York City to the suburbs of Sleepy Hollow. They now have a 6-year-old daughter, Amy, who they're very worried about because she's too introverted and, you know, caught up in her dreams. and they're trying to get her to be more part of things with other children. Amy is playing outside an old house in her neighborhood when a mysterious voice calls to her, later throws her a ring, which the butler of her family, Edward, tells her looks like a wishing ring. So she wishes upon the ring that she would make a friend. And then she starts seeing the ghost of Irena, who she's never heard of or seen, but the parents put it together like, oh, her imaginary friend is Irena. How is that possible? Irena's dead. She has no idea that this woman existed. So they're even more worried. Amy has also made the acquaintance of an eccentric rich old lady in the neighborhood who turns out to be the one who threw the ring. This old lady lives in a mansion with a younger, beautiful woman who Drusilla has mentioned, claims to be the old woman's daughter, but the old woman keeps saying she's an imposter and a liar. So we never kind of get closure on that. And, kind of all of this comes to a head at the end of the movie, but that's kind of it, right? I mean, is there anything I've kind of missed?
Yeah, that's more or less it. We also get the Legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman incorporated in there. The final half of this movie is all set on and around Christmas. And the tone of this movie is very much that of a fairy tale.
Kind of feels like Night of the Hunter in some ways. Because we just watched that, I had that in mind.
These would make incredible very much like kids dealing with the adult world from a child's perspective and seeking refuge with an eccentric old woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also do have like outrageously stylized uses of lighting and backlots. The like backyard in this movie is kind of
so beautiful.
The centerpiece of it, where she goes to meet and play with Irena, who like, first of all, why does Irena look better as a ghost than she did in Cat People? She looks like ethereal and gorgeous and beautiful and so serene. And the backyard is massive, and she's got like a little playhouse in the corner that's like pretty fucking big, but never goes to and never goes in. She's just like playing around the old tree. And like when it gets to like winter time and Christmas, there's these giant icicles hanging off the tree. It's so beautiful. And whenever Irena shows up, they'll be like, oh, go out, Amy, go outside and play. It's a beautiful sunny day. And she'll go outside and the light will shift and it'll all go dark and then she'll emerge. It's so fucking gorgeous.
It's great.
She's so sweet with her too. She like teaches her numbers. She like in like a very kind of fairy tale way.
Yeah, I was wondering for a lot of the movie whether or not she had like nefarious goals, right? Because I was thinking of the first movie and how she died, and I was like, has she come to get revenge on her ex-husband through his kid? But no, she seems to be like a benevolent guardian angel of some sort. It feels like a legit guardian angel situation.
Yeah, she just kind of wants to be like a good mother to this girl whose parents kind of have no interest in her. Like they leave her alone with their butler, servant, whatever, all day, who was played by Sir Lancelot, who was a big calypso musician at the time.
He's great.
This is his biggest role.
It's a good part.
It's a really good part, and he's like, it's a very fleshed out character, and yes, he is playing a servant role, which is unfortunate, but he also had a really, really prominent role in Val Lewton's The Ghost Ship, but especially in I Walked with a Zombie, where he sings like a theme song that he wrote for that movie.
Oh, I wondered why he seemed familiar.
Which would go on to be covered by Johnny Cash. Sir Lancelot's incredible.
He's great in this.
He's really, really good in this. But they leave her alone with him all day long. Presumably going back to their shipbuilding office in New York or somewhere else. And even when like they come to like the school to like get involved with her and stuff, the dad's constantly blaming her for not making friends. If other kids are being shitty to her, it's her fault. One of the things that kind of tips it all off to a head at the beginning of the movie is that it opens around Amy's 6th birthday party, and they wait around all day and no kids show up.
That was so stressful because that happened to me as a kid on my birthday. My birthday's the week of Christmas, and so I would have birthday parties, and sometimes people wouldn't come. So I was very stressed out. And then it turns out the reason that no one came is because she put the invitations in the hole of a tree, hoping that it would magically, because she's so daydreamy that she's like, this is a magical mailbox.
Yes, because her dad told her it was a magical mailbox. Which is actually an anecdote from Val Lewton's childhood. His eccentric theater actress aunt, Alan Azimova, very famous silent screen star and eccentric old lesbian aunt, again coded for this movie, told him that the tree outside was a magic mailbox, and when his sister had a birthday party, they let him mail the invitations and he put them in the tree and no kids came. And so he would like tell that story for years. And then when he had kids, he told his kids that story. And then the exact same thing happened to his daughter. His daughter mailed them in the tree. And so now it's in the movie and it's so, so cute. He has said that the like structure and idea behind this movie was very much to deal with himself as a parent as being a father to a daughter, but also to deal with his own childhood. So Amy is very much an amalgam of Val Lewton as a child and of his own daughter, which is part of the reason why it feels so deeply felt. Of like, usually like a kid's movie or a movie about a child is very like Disney saccharine. And it's like, oh, shoot, I was trying to get some gumballs down by the walking hole, and now I got swept away on a raft, and how am I going to get home? Some fucking dumb shit like that. But this is like, this is like a creative and curious child who none of the kids want to play with and has a hard time making friends because she finds them very abrasive and they kill butterflies and pretend to shoot at cats. And makes friends with old theater actresses.
Old eccentric theater act. I mean, that's how I was as a kid too. I was very interested in old ladies and not at all interested in other children. You know,
she's gonna grow up to be very cool and very interesting.
Totally.
And it's so funny how throughout this movie, the dad keeps being like, everyone's like, no, this is normal. This is normal child behavior. It's fine. Leave her alone. And the dad keeps being like, no, I've seen this before. My ex-wife, she believed in these things. And look how it ended up with her. There's a curse on my family. There's a curse on my daughter. And it's like, no, bitch, you just married a queer woman.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you are raising a daughter who is potentially, creative. When this movie came out, it was weirdly celebrated by psychologists.
Interesting.
This movie was taught in child psychology courses for years, which I think is really, really beautiful. And I
love that.
According to the Adam Roche podcast that I've been listening to, they held a screening of the film with Robert Wise and Val Lewton in attendance at, I think, UCLA on their for an audience of psychiatrists, and held like a Q&A with them. And some of the psychiatrists and the audience were like, wow, you guys did like a lot of research into this. And like, we're only just now looking into what at the time was being theories developed around autism, but they were using a very outdated term for it at the time because this is the 40s and it was based around the Nazi scientist who was doing a lot of research into that. But they're like, yeah, like it seems like you guys have done a lot of research into like autistic childhood, and there's like, it's based on my daughter. Like, I don't know about that. Well,
it's also like we have to pathologize everything, right? Like, I saw it as just like an introverted kid, and I'm an introvert, and in the past 10 years or so, there's been like sort of an annoying reclamation of being an introvert, because actually it goes back to this book that came out by Susan Cain called Quiet, which was kind of groundbreaking, but it's about 10 or 15 years old. And it was nonfiction book about a woman who studied, introverts in the culture. And the book was basically about how all aspects of our culture are geared toward extroverts. And it was kind of about the workplace, and about how introverts actually bring a lot of value to the workplace if you know how to harness that. So that kind of created a sea change about introverts and how valuable they are, to a degree that an introvert like me finds annoying when suddenly everyone on social media is like, I'm an introvert or whatever. It's like, just shut up. If you're such an introvert, shut up.
I'm an extroverted introvert.
That drives me crazy because it's not real. Like, here's not all binaries are bad. And the reason that there's a binary of like extrovert and introvert is to understand a particular point, right? Yeah. It's a made up thing. So like whether or not you're one or the other is supposed to measure something. So you can't be both by definition. You're like one or the other because we're trying to figure something out about you. It just drives me crazy. That's my rant. And somebody, when I tweeted about it once years ago, someone was like, binaries are dangerous. And I was like, are they? Is that dangerous? We're not talking about gender here. We're talking about like, I don't know. It just drives me insane. So anyways, I read this as an introvert pride movie, which I very much appreciated.
Very, very much so. And like, I was a kid who like, I wasn't an only child like Amy is, but I was left alone, and both my parents worked, and eventually divorced. And I had to fend for myself, and I had to make my own fun. And I like, most of my childhood was spent in my bedroom, like reading books, like
absolutely
playing guitar, like
it's still how my
movies.
Life is.
Yeah,
still how my life is. Like, when people post about like being working up the courage to like go to a movie on their own or like go to dinner on their own, I'm like, couldn't be me. There's nothing I love more than taking my sweet ass to a solo fancy dinner, sitting alone by myself in a hotel restaurant eating a steak. Is like perfect to me.
I watched this with my partner Ivory, who I think this is now her third Val Lewton movie that we've watched that she's seen. And she also like strongly dislikes kids and movies. And this movie starts with like the kids on a field trip to Sleepy Hollow, and they're like walking around, and we haven't fully established who Amy is or that she's the main character. They're just kind of like following them around. And then she kind of like runs off in the middle of a game to go chase a butterfly, which is animated half the time.
It's cool looking. It's so charming.
Fucking awesome. It's so fucking awesome. And in that moment, instantly, Ivory was like, "This kid's cool. I like this kid. This is awesome." And then when a boy is like, "Oh, I'll get that for you," and then just smashes it.
Yeah.
Ivory immediately was like, "Punch him!" And then she slaps him.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
She's a great kid. She's a really good actor, and then the character is really well written and lovable, and
Anne
just
Carter,
well done.
The actress who plays her, was a child actress and did a lot of movies that era. She's most well known outside of this for playing the child of Veronica Lake in the movie I Married a Witch.
Wow, yeah, I love that movie. I haven't seen that in a long time.
At the end, so they like do her up with the Veronica Lake like wave hair over half her face, and they've got her like running around and playing with like a broom or something. I adore that movie. Like,
this kid would have, if she was like a 2010s kid, she would have the best Tumblr. You know what I mean? Like, she would have such a good Tumblr.
Yeah, like on set with Veronica Lake, making cat people. Ooh, yeah. Spooky. Like, if you want a like super gentle, occasional spooks, slightly vibe movie, anything starring Anne Carter is apparently like the way to go. Yeah. We do get, this is like the first time a Val Lewton movie goes into gothic territory with Elizabeth Julia Dean's character, the Miss Farron, the theater actress who lives up in the big spooky house, which all the kids say is a witch. A witch lives up there, and at first she's just a voice beckoning from a window. It's a big old spooky gothic house, very like turn of the century, like cluttered.
Victorian.
It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I could watch a whole movie of like a 1940s version of The Burbs about them interacting with this family.
That's my favorite aspect of the movie is those two.
And she like tells this direct to camera version of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow to this little girl.
Mm-hmm.
That like very much scares the girl, and then she goes, "Okay, thank you." But she's a really Miss Farron is a really fascinating character.
I love her,
and she's really close with a little girl, and then like gets really terrified of the daughter caretaker. However, there's a great scene when Amy comes over to give her a gift, and she says, "Do you like my ring? It was given to me by the King of Russia." And then she's like, "Well, I got you a ring." It's King of Spain, and she rips it off and chucks it to the other side of the room.
It's great. I wanted to ask you about the relationship with her daughter, because I was during the movie, so you know, her adult daughter is saying, "You're very cruel to me. You're kind to this little girl, cruel to me." Mm-hmm. And the woman keeps saying, "My daughter died when she was 6. You're not my daughter."
Yeah.
My read on this, I went back and forth the whole movie. My personal read on it by the end of the movie was that this was not, in fact, her daughter, and that the old woman was right, and that this is some sort of like evil, you know, presence haunting her house.
Oh, so that's the goat. You're suggesting that woman's a ghost?
Yeah, or some sort of evil spirit. Like, I believe the older woman that this is not her daughter.
I like that. Val Lewton's whole thing is always giving you two ways to read a situation.
Yeah.
It's always, he will always give you the supernatural version, and then he will also fully pair it with the like plausible realist
deniability kind of thing. Yeah.
Where like, you know, Simon Simon in this, Arena could just be an imaginary friend, or she could be a ghost, or in the same way with this woman. And the first time I watched this movie, I read it as, oh, this woman has dementia and doesn't recognize her daughter, or she's being conned by a caregiver.
Could be that too, yeah.
And this woman, it does become a very sinister presence at the end of the movie. She like is kind of the villain.
Well, that's what clinched that point of view for me, was because she tries to strangle a 6-year-old girl. So it's like, oh, she's actually like an evil presence of some sort. And the older woman's dementia, you know, if it is dementia, it doesn't manifest in any other way beyond this one particular relationship. So according to Adam Roche's podcast, and according to the separate research that I've done into Val Lewton over the past few months, the original concept that was written, and then because the production insanity of the making of this movie, and because they thought it would be better just to not focus too much on side characters and leave much more of this movie based around Amy, the like original written backstory is that Miss Farron was a big actress, and she had a husband and a daughter, and was out drunk on Christmas and got into a car accident. And I think either the husband died or was the only like one to take care of the child or something like that. And she was put into a coma for like years. The older woman. Right.
And so when she woke up from her coma, having severe brain damage, expecting to see her 6-year-old daughter in front of her, her daughter was now like 14.
Right.
And
interesting.
Kept saying, "You're not my daughter." And like her brain just couldn't process it. And so she's lived with guilt and a like view that I killed my daughter in a car accident. I killed my daughter. I did this. And this woman has lived her entire life taking care of her mother, who refuses to believe that she's her daughter. Which is so fucking bleak.
In that version, the older woman is the villain.
Yeah. But I think it's definitely a better move to make it a bit more vague.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot more compelling and a lot more mysterious and interesting, and it makes the movie just that bit more like tinge of magic to it.
The relationship between Amy and Mrs. Farron, this is such a low-brow, low-rent reference. It reminded me of this movie I grew up with called Teen Witch.
Oh, I love Teen Witch!
Rob and Lively. It reminds me of her relationship with her drama, with the older witch played by Zelda Rubinstein.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of felt like that to me for some reason. I don't know why.
There is a lot of that to it. Well, we also get Amy's teacher midway through the movie just showing up at their house all the time.
She comes to the house all the time and be like, get the fuck out of my house.
She's just suddenly there on Christmas with them. And throughout the movie, we kept calling her Miss Honey.
Very Miss Honey. Very Miss Honey.
But, like, also to the point that, like, she's like riding her bicycle past the house and stops to talk to Amy. And then she goes in to, like, spend the day with Amy's mom talking about Amy. And you're like, okay, like, I could see a teacher going that far to, like, making sure, like, a potential problem student is, like, doesn't have, like, issues at home and is, like, that's, like, above and beyond. That's great. And then when, like, and we see her coming, but then when it's like, oh, it's Christmas and the carolers have all left and she's just sitting around the fireplace with them, I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And the more I watch it, the more I'm like, is she hooking up with the mom?
A couple of things to say about this. One, Amy's very much like Matilda as a character. So that's an interesting observation. Makes me wonder if Roald Dahl has seen this. Two, the carolers being invited inside was crazy to me, and it made me wonder, is this the point of caroling? Were you meant to, like, invite them in for a drink?
Yeah, you're meant to invite carolers in for a drink.
Never knew that in my whole long life. I've never lived someplace that actually had caroling. It feels like something from television and film only to me, and I would never in my wildest dreams invite 12 people into my house for a drink just because they were singing on my stoop.
Yeah, the traditional, it's not like required, but it's the kind thing to do, is that they go around in the snow and they sing songs and you're supposed to go, oh, carolers, and you're supposed to go to the door like Olivia Hussey in Black Christmas.
That I get, but I thought you were supposed to just be like, here's some money, Merry Christmas.
Well, in Black Christmas, we would have gotten, for instance, if you use that as the example, they would have gone into that. She would have brought them into the house for a drink. But then that other woman runs up and says, come on, girls, you need to get back into the car. Kids need to get back in the car. There was a kid killed in the, yeah. But yeah, that is the kind of traditional thing to do. No one does it anymore. No one goes caroling, especially not in LA.
You'd like get shot.
There's something to me about I don't know what it was, if the 40s, if it was the war, or if it was during the war or post-war or something, that Hollywood produced a lot of Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
There were a ton. I mean, Miracle on 34th Street, and It's a Wonderful Life, and It Happened on Fifth Avenue, and Holiday Affair. They're
White
just
Christmas.
White Christmas. They're all over the place. Holiday Inn, which is super racist. Same thing with Christmas music. We tend to a lot of Christmas music tends to be more from crooner eras.
That's the best Christmas music still.
Yeah. Well, the Kinks wrote the best Christmas song.
Oh, I love Father Christmas.
Just saying that.
I love it.
But there's something, maybe it's because every year we would watch Miracle on 34th Street. There's something about 1940s black and white movies that feel more Christmassy to me. And the traditions are slightly different, and like they've got like popcorn and tinsel on the tree, and everyone's wearing like a nice suit to like open presents, and there's just, I don't know, not to be all like trad wife about it, but like there's something really, really kind of like cozy and sweet to me about these Christmas movies. But something like It Happened on Fifth Avenue is like a strongly, sturdily anti-capitalist movie about homeless people. I don't know. I deeply, deeply love an old Hollywood Christmas movie. And it doesn't feel like Christmas until I've watched an old Hollywood Christmas movie.
I get it. They're very beautiful. For me, it's like the Rankin and Bass claymation Christmas specials that give me that feeling. But I understand.
Those do too. I love them so much.
Yeah, love them.
This is the most tender, sweet movie we've ever watched for this show, I think.
It could be.
Which I think is fitting for this holiday season. It's kind of like a warm hug of a movie. I highly recommend watching it with a big mug of hot cocoa and a plate of cookies. It's all of like 60 minutes long. So it's not a major commitment. It's super breezy, super short. It's honestly, this would make a good like Sunday morning movie. Or like if you get up super early to open presents, this is a good one to have on. I love this movie. I
loved it.
Much, and I'm so glad we were able to talk about it. Before we head into Have They Seen It, there is a major figure that I know for a fact has seen this movie and has spoken about it as being an influence on a major horror movie. William Friedkin.
Oh, really?
Has seen Curse of the Cat People, is a big fan of it, and specifically said it was a major influence on The Exorcist.
Really interesting. That's very interesting.
Also about a young girl and her imaginary friend and the way that that rankles the life of her parents. It's been a big Val Lewton year for me. I watched a bunch of documentaries on him, and in one of them, Friedkin is interviewed frequently throughout it, and he talked about how this and Leopard Man were his favorites, and
weird.
He had seen Curse of the Cat People very young, and it was one of his favorite movies growing up, and how he watched it multiple times, and then was thinking about it a lot while making The Exorcist, and then after The Exorcist went back and saw it again and was like, oh my god, I ripped up so much. Which, like, you wouldn't, if you watch this movie, you would never think of The Exorcist, and if you watch The Exorcist, you would never think of Curse of the Cat People.
Never.
It's just super like sweet and wholesome to me that there is a direct through line to those two movies. I don't know.
Love that.
I think it's really special.
Joe Dante really loves it as well.
Oh, that's not a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Joe Dante loves kids' movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, that's a great intro to Have They Seen It, the game where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen those movies. I already said it, but it's worth talking about. Do we think that Roald Dahl saw this?
That's so interesting to me. When was Matilda written?
I want to say that, well, I don't know. Let me see. Roald Dahl.
Matilda was written 1988?
I was going to say that I read it as a kid, but yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, it was published in 1988.
Yeah. So he was
crazy. Right,
he could have seen it
died.
at any point.
Yeah, he definitely could have seen it. I think he definitely did. I also know from listening to the Val Lewton podcast that RKO had a big distribution deal in the UK. And that a lot of their movies did better in the UK than they did in America.
Mm.
And that specifically The Seventh Victim, which we covered previously on this podcast, was like weirdly a huge hit in England during the Blitz.
Oh, interesting.
Which, I mean, it's a movie about like urban ennui and accepting death, so like I guess I can see it. But yeah, I think this absolutely would have played pretty well in England at the time, and considering Roald Dahl's age and occupation and stuff. Like, I know he was employed during the war and was kind of a spy at the time.
He was fully an adult by the time this came out, and had all that time after.
I think he would have seen this as being like, oh, another one of those horror movies. Okay, I'll go check that one out. And then would have been like really pleasant. It feels like a Roald Dahl story. It feels very akin to his stuff. And it like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Wes Anderson, who's adapted a lot of Roald Dahl, wouldn't also be a fan of this movie too.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the bad scene. I can't. I won't. But someone that we've mentioned on this episode, and someone that I know is a massive fan of Rhoda and the Bad Seed, and someone who loves a lot of kind of classic family movies from this era, and who makes movies very much about women and occasionally about young women. Do you think John Waters has seen Curse of the Cat People?
John Waters has seen everything, it feels like. I think for sure he's seen this. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He would like it a lot, obviously.
I feel like he would like it, but it also might be too saccharine for him.
Oh, could be. He also doesn't really like children. Just as a rule.
Yeah, I know he loves the Bad Seed and stuff like that.
That's kind of a different thing, though, right?
Very much so. I feel like he would enjoy this as like a girl getting pissed at her parents and running off to go hang out with a creepy old lady in her house. I don't know. I feel like he would enjoy it.
Do you know, just popped into my head thinking about John Waters and hating kids. Do you know a movie I think John Waters has seen but hates? I bet John Waters hates The Babadook. Don't you think? Don't you think that's like not a John Waters movie at all?
That's possible. I've never heard him talk about it.
Me neither. Which makes me think he doesn't like it.
Yeah. I saw he recently did a little Adventures in Movie Going interview on the Criterion Channel. And in it he talks about how since the 60s he's kept a log of every movie he's ever seen and like a little rating 1 through 5, like star ratings. He writes them in his calendar. He keeps like calendars, and just writes it in the little squares of what movies he saw that day and his rating. And he's kept every single one since the 60s. And he was like, so when I die, you can finally realize what I thought about all this stuff. I never want him to die, but I do want to hear his unvarnished opinions on a lot of things.
His death will be so painful.
Yeah, it'll ruin me. Him and Mel Brooks will just ruin me.
Yeah. Is it my turn or yours?
It's your turn.
I forgot. Okay. This person just popped into my head out of the clear blue sky. I guess because she broke her hip this week. Not to laugh at somebody breaking their hip. It's just such an insane reason for this person to come to my head who has no connection to this movie or any movie. And I say this as value neutral. Listen, I don't have an opinion about this person that I'm willing to publicly say on this podcast. Do you think Nancy Pelosi has ever seen Curse of the Cat People? I don't know why she came into my head other than she's in the news. She's always in the news.
Yeah. She would have been 4 when this movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
So and it wasn't marketed as being a family movie. It was marketed as a spooky new horror show from Val Luton. And it's not that. I don't think she would have seen it at age of 4. And I don't think she would have seen it at any point. I'm going to say no. Even though Nancy Pelosi is old enough to have seen Curse of the Cat People in theaters.
She's old enough to have seen every American movie that has ever been made if she committed herself. I will point out her daughter is a filmmaker, but like a documentarian.
Oh, yeah. Then no.
Yeah, I agree.
That doesn't count.
Documentaries aren't movies.
I always think about the conversation from You're Next with Ty West, where they're like, oh, you make documentaries? You should make commercials.
Yeah.
There's a commercial I like that's like, it's kind of like a documentary. You'd like it.
Probably make more money.
Yeah. She's Nancy Pelosi's daughter. She's fine.
Yeah, true.
So this is the directorial debut of Robert Wise, who, I mean, we'll get to the haunting on this show eventually, I promise. But of course has directed umpteen fucking movies, one of which is a big kind of family-friendly classic that isn't a Christmas movie, but does play at Christmas a lot, and a lot of people watch it at Christmas. And that would be the Nazi-themed Sound of Music. Starring Julie Andrews. Do you think that Julie Andrews has had a chance to catch Curse of the Cat People?
I want to say yes, actually, but that's just straight from the hip. I don't actually know.
I don't know if she would have, based on like, again, the like reputation marketing around it of like, oh, the sequel to Cat People. But like, if she just watched it, like, I'm sure it comes on TCM enough for her to just like stumble upon it, though.
Yeah.
I feel like she would love it. I feel like she would.
I think
find
she
it
would
very
like
sweet.
it too. Yeah,
and
I think she'd like it.
Can you imagine a 1960s, maybe early 70s Broadway stage production of Curse of the Cat People, the musical?
Oh, it would make a beautiful musical, actually.
Starring Julie Andrews as Irena, the ghost.
I love it. That's a good idea. I never saw Sound of Music until I was like 30 because I didn't grow up on it. And I was like, there are Nazis in this? I was so surprised.
The fucking You Are 16 song is sung by a Nazi.
I know. I was really surprised. It's much sadder than I imagined it.
Yeah, that was one. I feel like that and Amadeus were two movies that were played for us a lot in like middle school for some reason. I don't know why. And I've not seen Amadeus since, and everyone talks about it being a masterpiece. And I'm like, I was so bored by that when I was 12.
You wouldn't be bored now. You'd like it.
Oh, I'm absolutely certain I would love it. It's Milos Forman. Like,
yeah.
Course. Yeah.
I like any movie where people wear powdered wigs. I'm like very into that vibe.
I just remember being 12 years old and being forced to watch Amadeus multiple times in my music class. And just being like, why is the guy from Animal House playing Mozart?
If I had to pick an aesthetic of a movie to live inside of, like disregarding everything else about the movie, it would be Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
Like that powdered wig Versailles aesthetic. I am into it.
I mean, that's like a best of both worlds because you get that like visual life, but you still get to listen to like Susie the Banshees and Adam Ant.
Yeah. Best of everything.
Yeah, best of everything. Oh my God. Except for, the stuff.
Yeah, except for like all the turmoil and the revolution and stuff.
Yeah, except for all the poverty and starvation and death and famine. And...
Yeah.
If you can disregard that, wealth is pretty great.
Yeah. Listen, we're very grateful that you spent this year listening to our stupid podcast. We're very grateful to everyone who listens to this show. And we wish you a very peaceful, relaxing, lovely holiday. You can follow us on Instagram at BloodhousePod. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. Drusilla, where can people follow you these days?
You can find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. Not only are we on the commentary for the new era release of Dressed to Kill, but I also did the art for the new era release of The Terminal Man with George Siegel. So that's over there. Like, whole bunch of stuff. The new Radiance box set that I designed of 3 films by Luce Buñuel, including Viridiana and Son of the Desert and Exterminating Angel, is out now. So I really, really urge you to go pick that up. That's also region free, and those are some of the best movies ever made. And you can follow me on Letterboxd. If you look for Sister Hyde or Drusilla Adeline, I'm over there. And you can find out what I thought of the direct-to-Netflix Christmas rom-com Hot Frosty. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Sister Hyde. What about you, Josh? How can people ethereally float into your social presence?
You can follow me on Blue Sky, Letterboxd, or Instagram at Joshua Conkel. Next week, we are headed to the movies to watch a brand new release. What is it?
If you're listening to this, it's Christmas, so this movie isn't out yet. So we're going together on Christmas, even though we'll be in different places.
Different states.
To go see the new movie from Josh's cinematic boyfriend, Robert Eggers. We will be spending Christmas and New Year's with Nosferatu.
I just saw an interview with him and he looks hotter than ever. I feel like he's maybe lost a little weight. He looks really good.
Did I tell you that recently I had a dream that he and his wife tried to pick me up to be their third?
Oh my God, you'd be so lucky.
And I said, no.
No, that's a nightmare. Happy holidays. We love you. Thank you. And we'll see you for New Year's. Bye.
2025 is going to be very scary. Bye.